Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I have another sort of weekend mashup for you. We've got some delicious meals, some tasty treats, and some family fun. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get to it. Good morning, guys. So the plan today was to run to Dollar Tree real quick for just a couple things, and I need to drop off the bags of stuff I have in my car, and then we're going to run to H-E-B and get a few things for dinner maybe, and maybe for Mother's Day some stuff for other people, and I am running behind. I'm just going to get ready real quick. My hair is dirty. I don't care. It's whatever. So we just got done at Dollar Tree. It's always fun when you're checking out. The boys were holding some sponges I got, and they lost them somewhere in the store while we were getting Legos. So Garrett ran to go get me some more, and the cashier said, "Don't worry, he's got time. I'm moving slow today because I was up all night nursing sick kids." And I'm like, "Ugh, sanitizer. I don't want to get sick right now. It's the beginning of summer." So we are headed to H-E-B to get some stuff for dinner or whatever. I don't even know. What?
The beginning of the summer was yesterday.
Right, but do you want to get sick right now when summer just started?
No.
Tucker's cutting up some lunch. Snack, lunch, veggies. I totally forgot to record a haul and what all we got, but we got dinner stuff. I went to Dollar Tree because I wanted to get these. I got two little vases.
What's up, Mama?
And then I got some flowers to mix together and make two bouquets out of for Sherry and for my sister-in-law. So I got these pretty tulips. And then we got these. And these. So I'm going to mix them all and make two bigger bouquets out of them to put in these for Mother's Day. So for Mother's Day, I'm making Sherry a little cake. We got dark chocolate fudge and chocolate fudge icing. And then I was going to try to decorate it with some cream cheese, and I'm going to make some Snickerdoodles because she likes Snickerdoodles, and put them on the cake. You cannot find a small cake carrier anywhere. I'm going to use my little bread pan, or my little cake pans that I use to make bread, and make like a taller, smaller cake. So I got some paper plates, and then I figured it'll fit in here like a cake dome, because the big cake dome is too big and then the other ones are too short. So yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Okay, so I actually ended up making two of these cakes. I made one for Sherry and one for my sister-in-law for Mother's Day. I just used the same cake pans that I used to make my Schlotzsky's bread in, and these turned out the perfect size and they're so cute. So this one box of cake mix actually ended up making 6 layers. So I made each cake with 3 layers. And then I just frosted them in chocolate frosting, or the chocolate fudge I had. And then I'm going to make some Snickerdoodles to go with them. This was a super simple Snickerdoodle recipe, and it made so many cookies. I didn't know it was going to make that many. But you just cream together your butter and sugar. Once those were all whipped together and fluffy, I'm adding in my eggs and vanilla. Once that was all mixed together, I added in my flour, some cream of tartar, baking soda, and salt. And these were super simple, super quick to throw together, and I just baked these in the oven according to the recipe. I refrigerated my dough for about 30 minutes and then rolled it into balls and dipped them in cinnamon sugar. And I did end up flattening them with a spatula on the baking sheet before I cooked them. And the ones I first made turned out really big. So then on the second tray, I made them a little bit smaller. And they were still way too big for the cake, so I made the third set even smaller and ended up with a ton of cookies. So here's how these cakes turned out. This is a chocolate fudge snickerdoodle cake, and the top icing is cream cheese icing, and it turned out so pretty, and they were just fun to make. So we were having dinner next door in this night. I didn't record much, but we used some Panda Express teriyaki sauce. We're making some of this coconut ginger rice. If you haven't tried this and you like coconut, this rice is so delicious. We're also just going to throw some frozen pot stickers in the air fryer, and we just cooked our chicken in a skillet and then finished it off in the oven and made some green beans on the side. This was such a good dinner. We had our chicken, rice, green beans, and pot stickers, and of course you have to have some soy sauce and sweet and sour on the side. This was so good. The next day we took a little road trip. We went to a fly-in at a small airport. And I took the boys to this last year and Adam didn't get to go. So this year we went again so that he could come along with us. They do helicopter rides. I think you can even book plane rides. And they just have all kinds of cool planes to look at, and you can get inside some of them. And so the boys really like it. And they also do a candy drop from a helicopter, which is super fun. So we just spent a few hours here just enjoying everything there was to see and getting some candy and having some fun. And then we headed home to make a simple dinner. Little things like this are always such a fun start to the summer. I love when I can find stuff like this for the boys to do, and they had so much fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with us. So tonight we're making some pinto beans. Someone recently asked me how we make ours, and I don't really have an exact recipe, but I'm going to show you how we made these. We kind of make them the same every time with a few exceptions, but we also found these beans and we'd never tried them before, so we decided to give these a try. So we have 2 pounds of beans here, but we just used half of each bag, so 1 pound total, and we just soaked these for a few hours before we cook them. We're just going to throw some chicken broth in our pot to cook our beans. We usually use leftover like smoked pork in our beans, but we didn't have any this time, so we're just throwing in some of this ham bouillon basically. So we get our beans in our pot with our chicken broth. We use 1 carton, and then we're just going to put some water in here until the beans are covered by about 1 inch. And then we'll just let these cook for a couple of hours. We'll bring it to a boil, turn it down to a high simmer with the lid on, and let them cook before we season them. And this is just a super simple and delicious meal. We sort of always use the same seasonings, but usually since we have the actual meat in here, they taste a little bit better just because there's chunks of meat in there. And how does that not make it better? But we're adding in that ham seasoning, a little bit of brown sugar, and we're also adding in some barbecue sauce and Worcestershire and some liquid smoke. And then we just use our usual seasonings: garlic powder, onion powder, some salt and pepper, and some Tony's Creole seasoning. This was after the beans had cooked for a few hours and they were almost done. So we're just going to get these all seasoned up, and then we'll let them simmer for another 30 minutes or so. And these are so easy and delicious. So if you want to try these out, just make them this way, and then they're good in a bowl as like soup beans with some cornbread on the side. And we did make cornbread on the side, but about 20 minutes before we were ready to eat, we threw some rice in here just because we felt like some beans and rice. So you can leave the rice out and just have a bowl of beans, and that's delicious. Or add in the rice, and that turns out so good too. It always amazes me how much of this my boys will eat with or without the rice. They just love a big old pot of beans, and they're super tasty, super cheap meal, easy on a weeknight or any night, and everybody loves them. So I realized that I never ended this video. So our weekend didn't go as planned. Adam was off for 4 days, and we planned on just, doing all kinds of stuff, like whatever the weekend brings. And the weekend brought disasters, pretty much. I still don't know if the dogs spilled their water or not. I went to switch the laundry. We were in here cleaning and doing all kinds of stuff, and I went to switch the laundry, and there was a puddle under the washing machine. So we thought the washer was leaking, but now we've done a couple loads in it and nothing leaked again, and so I don't know, it's kind of a wait and see game. And then our septic is also messing up again. It's just never ending around here. But, so we ended up just having to take care of stuff, and, didn't really do anything else worth filming for the rest of the weekend, but anyway, that's also why this video is behind. But I'll be back soon with a new video, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one. There we go, much better. Someone's driving it now. Pretty cool, dude.
Oh, he doesn't have a